Welcome to Loving Life Hitched Up. Today we'll be taking you to the least visited national park in the United States, or at least one of the least visited national parks.
Contiguous United States.
Isle Royale is so wild.
How wild is it?
The Isle Royale is the least visited national park in the lower 48 United States, but has the most densely used backcountry.
And we're going to share with you some of the challenges you can expect when visiting Isle Royale National Park. The first challenge of visiting the park is that it's not easily accessible. There are only two ways to travel there. You can travel by seaplane or by passenger ferry. Passenger ferries operate from Copper Harbor and Houghton, Michigan to Rock Harbor on the east side of the island. And there are also ferries from Grand Portage, Minnesota that'll take you to Wendigo, but they also have continuing service to the east side of the island, Rock Harbor.
We took the 2-hour boat ride from Grand Portage to Wendigo, but our trip took a little bit longer than that because they were deploying a weather buoy. So there was a point in time there where, we kind of paused in the middle. They deployed this to give a better idea of the ice and water temperatures and all that cool stuff. So we had a front row seat to that, which was kind of cool because, how often do you get to participate in that? But it did cut in to our time on the island and did prolong our journey there.
Keep in mind that advanced reservations are strongly recommended. These ferries do not run on a daily schedule, so do your due diligence. Check out their websites for their schedule. And the park is only open from mid-April until October.
You can also travel to the island via Isle Royale seaplanes. We did get to see some seaplanes land while we were there. They have flights originate from Hancock, Michigan, and Cook County Airport in Grand Marais, Minnesota.
You can also take a private boat or private seaplane if you have that ability. Just remember, you have to follow federal rules when you get there, so you don't want to break any rules on federal land. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. We're this close to 5,000, and that's one of our personal goals to reach that pretty soon.
I would also love if you guys would give us a thumbs up and leave comments down below because that kind of helps with the algorithm. It also lets us know, what you're loving, what you're not loving, so we can try to bring you better content or more informative content or whatever it is that you think would make things better for you as our viewers on Love and Life Hitched Up.
The second challenge is the cost of getting to the island. With such limited transportation, it's going to be pricey to get there. Seaplanes start at $230 per person for a one-way trip and go up to $440 for a round trip. Your departure and arrival location determines the price.
The passenger ferry is going to cost you $80 per person each way. So unless you plan on moving in, it's going to be $160 to get there and back.
The third challenge are provisions. Whether you're staying for a few hours or camping overnight, you need to bring everything in and carry everything out. So if you visit the Rock Harbor side, there is a restaurant, but that can get pricey. And over on the Wendigo side, there is a place where you can get some snacks and some, limited items, right? But they're pricey.
Yeah. So on this trip, we got to see a bunch of other, passengers that were going with us that were planning on staying for a period of time. So they were camping there, and these people had a ton of gear that they were carrying. They probably could have used a few mules, if you ask me, but there was a ton because you're bringing water, everything, and what you bring in, you're bringing back out. So it's, eat it all and just carry the wrappers back. That's my philosophy.
Challenge number 4 is that the time you spend on the island is dictated by the mode of transportation you choose. Your schedule is determined by their schedule. We're only here for 2.5 hours. Unfortunately, the boat got in around 11:15, and by 1:45 we got to be back at the dock. So the boat and plane will leave according to the schedule, and if you're not there, they'll leave you behind. We were told very clearly, we wait for no one.
Yep.
So if you are not there on time, you're gonna have to figure out how to find your way back to the mainland at an additional cost, or you better hope that you have some tents or some sleeping bags with you.
Yeah, they do a great job of knowing how many people are supposed to be on each way in, each way out. They have a list, but again, it is on you. I will say this. We often don't wear watches, and we were relying on our cell phones for time. We actually set alarms so we knew where we had to be. And because of its location, our cell phones actually changed time zone. And we ended up getting back to the dock and losing an additional hour of exploration time because they work via clock time set from leaving Grand Portage. So just keep that in mind that if your device is based on a phone, know your time so you don't waste time or end up missing because you're on the wrong time zone.
And because we were focusing our departure on the wrong time zone, we ended up being very anxious and thinking we were going to miss the boat and end up having to spend the night on Grand Portage right as it was starting to pour. So it was a little stressful.
We got caught in a rainstorm on the trail, got a little wet. Now we are rushing to get ourselves back to the boat. As you can hear, our alarms are going off telling us it's time to be getting back to where we need to be. So,
And I'm a little anxious.
yeah,
I missed the boat.
Yeah, we're not set up for that. And challenge number 5 is always going to be the unpredictability of the weather. You need to absolutely dress in multiple layers because the temperature is going to change dramatically throughout the day.
Also, be prepared to get wet. Isle Royale gets 20 to 40 inches of rain per year, with the summer months being the wettest. So weather on this trip changed dramatically throughout the day, leaving us sopping wet and cold on our return boat ride.
Yeah, well, obviously our big travels in the summer, so it was cool, but it did get very cold.
Yeah, and the boat ride back was very uncomfortable with our wet clothes, and because it was raining, instead of being able to sit out in the back of the boat, we were all kind of crammed in.
Into the little middle. And there's really nothing on the boats that we were on as far as refreshments, or you couldn't get like a hot cup of tea, which would have been amazing, or even a shot of brandy, but not an option.
No, not at all. We will say this, it was an interesting experience. I'm glad to be able to check that off our list. We even got shirts, been there, done that, bought a t-shirt.
Isle Royale is so wild.
How wild is it?
The Isle Royale is the most revisited national park.
But it was a lot of work and very expensive.
Yeah, I could see if you're really into out in the middle of nature, backpacking, that kind of deal, how this could be like off the charts as fun as adventure for you. Hiking, it was great. It's an absolutely beautiful island. We had a great time, but we just want to bring you these challenges. So if you decide to go, hopefully this video gives you a little information, makes it easy for you to plan, so that you can have a great adventure over there as well.
Yeah, but definitely do a lot of planning with this. I would say that if I ever return to the islands, I would probably want to stay overnight. Although it would require, a tent and sleeping bags and all that food and everything that you would need. But I just can imagine being out there in the middle of the night, the stars and
moose and all that cool stuff.
Moose, yes, they are known for wolves and moose. We didn't see either one.
Hopefully we get to see a moose, maybe a wolf, red fox, something cool, giant snake, alligator, I don't know, something. Nope. Raindrops.
Raindrops. We got a lot of raindrops. That's
but
for
it was
sure.
a very exciting day. We had a great time.
Well, we hope you found this video helpful and that you'll consider, joining our family, our Loving Life Hitched Up family. So remember, when you're out there loving life,
do it hitched up.